Hey everyone, it's Josh. So on my exercise walk this morning, Brooke Farmer happened to be walking into the office. Now, there's a couple of reasons I'm addressing this, so I want to get to those, and I want to try to make this a short video if I at all can. The first thing is because I was walking by her when she was walking into the office. Brooke is a pretty underhanded person. There was nobody around to witness us walking by each other because it was just my morning exercise walk. And I do walk by the office every morning for my exercise walk. Brooke might try to say something like I said something to her or whatever. I wouldn't put it past her to do something like that, but rest assured that I said nothing to her. I just kept walking, and that's all I did. And if anything comes of it, you heard it here first that I didn't say a word to her. And if there's anything like with like police showing up at my door or whatever, I'm going to record that interaction and I'm going to ask for a polygraph test to prove my innocence in that matter. Okay. So moving on. There's another reason why seeing Brooke walk into the office is significant. Haverkamp now knows without a shadow of a doubt that Brooke has been targeting me. And yet she's still allowed to work there. I mean, they have proof. They have the emails and all of that. Brooke is still being allowed to work here. I mean, it is just unbelievable. Especially after she knocked my door and everything. And it's just not cool. You would think they would either send her home suspension without pay or something while they investigated, or even suspension with pay. The fact that she's allowed to work here through all this while they have proof that she's been targeting me, it's just, a lot of you might consider it unbelievable, and I do too from an emotional perspective, and that's kind of why I'm saying this. But this is I don't know how to put this into words. Most landlords would at least suspend one of their managers if a similar situation was going on. At least a suspension with pay for a couple of weeks while they figure something out. But Brooke is continuing to be allowed to work here. This all goes back to the Cornerstone Church connection that I told you about. All these employees here are either directly from Cornerstone Church or they grew up with a bunch of people that are from Cornerstone Church. Now, with Brooke herself, I don't think she's really part of Cornerstone, at least not in any significant way. If she does go to Cornerstone, she's probably only marginally involved, if involved at all. But she grew up with these Cornerstone people. And since Cornerstone, both the employees and the higher ups, like Brent Haverkamp and Todd Westenberg, are from Cornerstone, and they're from the elder team at Cornerstone, they probably grew up with Brooke, watched her grow up and everything. And so they're going to do what they can to shield her from any kind of discipline. And so that's why I said in other videos that I'm not just up against Haverkamp Properties, I'm up against Cornerstone and their whole business network and the fact that they have connections to judges and lawyers and everything like that. So Brooke is pretty well protected, even though she's done illegal things to me. And this is why it's probably going to take 2, maybe even 3 different court cases to actually get justice. And what this all means is that since they're going to continue to allow her to work here, they're going to continue to allow her to mess with me and bother me. And that's why I have no choice but to take this to court. It's not just about getting compensation. It's about the fact that if I don't come after them, Brooke has some sort of obsession with me, so she's going to figure out a way to keep coming after me until she figures out a way to evict me. And I don't deserve that. I've been a faithful tenant here for over 7 years. Never had a behavioral problem with anybody. And I've always paid my rent on time. I mean, I've been, pretty much the model tenant. So, I just don't deserve any of this. But Haverkamp is going to let her continue to screw with me. There's just no question about this. So, now does this point to the idea that maybe somebody is telling her to screw with me the way she's been doing in the last 8 months? Yeah, and there probably is somebody somewhat directing her steps. Could very well have been Todd this whole time. I don't know. Could very well have been Brent this whole time. I don't know. But even if there is, I still believe that this is 95% Brooke. I mean, you can just tell she has some sort of hang-up about me. Which is funny because all I want to do is be left alone and not have to deal with a buttload of noise in my own house. But anyway, I wanted to get those two things out of the way. I said nothing to Brooke. So if something comes out that I said something to her, it's not true. When I walked by her this morning on my exercise, I don't put it past her to make up stories. So and also the fact that Brooke is allowed to work here, I mean, that's because of the whole, Cornerstone Connection thing that I've just talked about now and that I've talked about in other videos. Cornerstone Church is going to pool their resources to shield her in any way they possibly can. And so I'm up against a lot of stuff here. But I'm determined to win. See, it's not just going to be one court case. I know I'm going to lose the first one. But I'm determined to keep going. And the thing is, I've got the advantage over them because in order to beat me, they have to win every time. I only have to win once. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. I guess that's all for today. Bye.